All right, I'm going to work through the rest of Math 2 Unit 9 worksheet, finishing up the ones I didn't do in the notes. I'm going to talk through these. Chances I might make a mistake or two, so if you disagree with one, don't hesitate to speak up, and we'll correct it in class. All right, 7n times 3n squared is 21n to the third. 7n times 2n is 14n squared, and 7n times 1 is 7n. So we end up with 21n to the third plus 14n squared plus 7n. All right, I believe I did the other three in the notes. All right, number 5, we are going to FOIL. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 4 is 8x. 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 4 is 12. Giving us 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. Moving on to number 6. A times a is a squared. A times 11 is 11a. 11 times a is 11a. And 11 times 11 is 121. And when we end, we get a squared plus 22a plus 121. Whenever they're like this, it's called a trinomial square, and you'll notice it's just like this one down here I did in the notes. But I could have told you it's a times a is a squared, a times 11 times 2 is 22a, and 11 times 11 is 121. Okay, moving down, just like I know number 8, I know the answer is going to be x times x is x squared, negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. How do I know that? Because when you have what we call the difference of two squares, the middle terms always cancel out. X times x gives us x squared. X times 4 is 4x. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. And again, you can see those middle terms cancel out because of the pattern. X minus 4 times x plus 4. Okay. Over here, we can see that we have 3x plus 1 times 3x plus 1. Well, that's one of those trinomial squares. So I know my answer is going to be 9x squared. 3x times 1 is 3x times 2 is 6x, and 1 times 1 is 1. Let's see why. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times 1 is 3x. And 1 times 3x is 3x, and 1 times 1 is 1. Combine the middle two terms. There you go. Okay. Let's see. Well, again, I know that this is 5x minus 6 squared, so we're going to get 25x squared. 5x times negative 6 is negative 30x. Double that, you get negative 60x. And negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. Let's see if I'm right. Let me scoot that up a bit for you. Well, this is 5x minus 6 times 5x minus 6. 5x times 5x is 25x squared. So far, so good. 5x times negative 6 is negative 30x. Negative 6 times 5x is negative 30x. Add those together, you get negative 60x. And negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. And there you go. All right. Well, this one we got to actually FOIL. Y times y is y squared. Y times 7 is 7y. Negative 6 times y is negative 6y. And negative 6 times 7 is negative 42. Combine the middle two terms. This guy comes down. Y squared plus 1y. 7 minus 6 is 1. Minus 42. Okay, look at this guy. This is the difference of two squares, 2x plus 7 times 2x minus 7. So our final answer is going to be 4x squared minus 49. Let's see, 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times negative 7 is negative 14x. 7 times 2x is 14x. And 7 times negative 7 is negative 49. These two cancel, and we get the difference of two squares. Remember, we called the difference 2 squares because we could rewrite this as 2x squared minus 7 squared. The difference of two things squared. All right, moving on. A times a is a squared. A times negative 13 is negative 13a. Negative 13 times a is negative 13a. And negative 13 times negative 13 is positive 169. Combine the middle two, we get a squared minus 26a plus 169. How many of you guys recognize this as a trinomial square? Trinomial square here. 3y squared is 9y squared. 3y times negative 4 is negative 12y. Double it, negative 24y. And negative 4 squared is 16. Let's see. This is 3y times 4 times 3y minus 4. 3y times 3y is 9y squared. 3y times negative 4 is negative 12y. Negative 4 times 3y is, negative 12y. And negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Combine the middle two terms. This guy comes down. Negative 12y plus negative 12y is negative 24y. And the 16 comes down. Oops, sorry. You guys kind of lost that on there. There it is. Okay, moving on. Forgot when I zoomed in, I lost part of that. All right, second page. All right, we got a lot more to do here. Let's stop with these tricks and let's just write it out. 5h minus 3 times 5h minus 3. 5h times 5h is 25h squared. 5h times negative 3 is negative 15h. Negative 3 times 5h is negative 15h. And negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Combine the middle two terms. 25h minus 30h plus 9. Okay, we got to multiply three things together. So I'm going to multiply the 3, and we get 6x plus 15. And then we're going to multiply that times 2x minus 5. 6x times 2x is 12x squared. 6x times negative 5 is negative 30x. 15 times 2x is positive 30x. And 15 times negative 5 is negative 75. Okay? Well, let's see here. These middle two terms cancel out. And we get 12x squared minus 70. Oops, not 175. Sorry about that. That's just 75. 12x squared minus 75. Okay. Well, let's multiply the 2 times 5c plus 1. 2 times 5c is 10c. And 2 times 1 is 2. And now we will FOIL the two binomials. Fronts. 10c times 3c is 30c squared. 10c times 4 is 40c. 2 times 3c is 6c. And 2 times 4 is 8. So the 30c squared comes down. 40c plus 6c is 46c. And the 8 comes on down. All right, moving on. This is 5k minus 6 times 5k minus 6. Remember, your answer will never be 25k plus 36. You have to multiply it together. So 5k times 5k is 25k squared. 5k times negative 6 is negative 30k. Negative 6 times 5k is negative 30k. And negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. Combining the middle two terms, 25k squared minus 60k plus 36. All right, difference of two squares. 3n times 3n is 9n squared. 3n times 4 is 12n. Negative 4 times 3n is negative 12n. And negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. The middle two terms cancel, and we get 9n squared minus 16. Remember, we could rewrite this as 3n squared minus 4 squared. Difference of two squares. Okay, 4p plus 1 times 4p plus 1. For you guys getting good at this, 4p times 4p is 16p squared. And 4p times 1 is 4p. 4p plus 1 is 4p. Add them together, you get 8p, and 1 times 1 is 1. 4p times 4p is 16p squared. 4p times 1 is 4p. 1 times 4p is 4p, and 1 times 1 is 1. Combine the middle two terms. All right, now we're getting complicated, but it's not that big a deal. We just got to be careful, keep track of everything. So I'm going to work this way, I think. 3x times 4x squared is 12x to the third. 3x times 2x is 6x squared. And 3x times 3 is 9x. Okay, now I have to distribute the negative 8 into everything. Negative 8 times 4 is negative 32x squared. Negative 8 times 2x is negative 16x. And negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. 12x to the third comes down. 6x squared and negative 32x is negative 26x squared. 9x and negative 16x is negative 7x minus 24. Okay, just to show you it really doesn't matter, I can distribute this guy into both. 5t squared times 6t is 30t to the third. 5t squared times 1 is negative 5t squared. Now the 3t times 6t is 18t. 3t times 1 is, that's 18t squared. And now 3t times 1 is negative 3t. And now the negative 11 times 6t is negative 66t. If we can still see that. Let me get it over there. And now I'm running out of room. Negative 11 times negative 1 is plus 11. I'll show you another really good way to do that in a second. So we've got 30t to the third. Negative 5t squared and 18t squared is 13t squared. Negative 3t and negative 66t is negative 69t plus 11. All right, I'll show you a little trick to keep track of all this. So first we're going to multiply these two together. And we're going to go x times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 5x minus 10, which simplifies to x squared minus 3x minus 10. Okay, we're going to take this trinomial and multiply it times this binomial, x plus 4. Now watch how I set this up. X times x squared is x to the third. X times negative 3x is negative 3x squared. And x times negative 10 is negative 10x. Okay, now moving over to the 4. I'm going to stack these. 4 times x squared is 4x squared. So I put the x squareds together. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12x. And 4 times negative 10 is negative 40. So now we just basically add. The x to the third comes down. Negative 3x squared and 4x squared leaves 1x squared. Negative 10x plus negative 12x is negative 22x minus 40. All right, let's try that again. C times c is c squared. C times negative 3 is negative 3c. 4 times c is 4c, and 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. So what we end up with is I'm going to take the 3c plus 5, and I'm going to multiply it times c squared. Negative 3c and 4c is just c minus 12. So now I'm going to multiply the binomial with the trinomial. So we get 3c times c squared is 3c to the third. 3c times c is 3c squared. And 3c times negative 12 is negative 36c. Okay, now 5 times c squared is 5c squared. 5 times c is 5c. And 5 times negative 12 is negative 60. Now, adding straight down, 3c to the third. 3c squared to 5c squared is 8c squared. Negative 36c and 5c is negative 31c minus 60. Okay. Let's just see that. All right, the last question. Look through the answers to your questions 5 through 28 and answer the following questions. Which problem numbers had answers that were binomials? Well, I have it here for you. It's 8, 14, and 18, I believe. And how do we know? Why? Because the middle terms canceled out. And if you think of it, it's basically a squared minus b squared are the answers. Remember I said that was the difference of two squares. All right, nicely done.